Good morning. Mike B from Mike's Wild World. Do you remember last week from the video where I was in nature, wild and wet, and I was cooking, and I mentioned a different fry pan that I needed to clean up. This is a carbon steel pan, and my wife found it at a thrift store, so we got it at a decent price. Normally these things can be anywhere from 20 to 40 to 50 and probably up the scale. This is a vintage one. It's old. I don't really need to do anything to the bottom, I don't think. It looks pretty good to me, but the inside's got some really bad texture. I'll get you a better look at it, but if you can see it, it's really rough. The handle has these little pieces all over it, and I don't know about the inside. I like a clean inside in my pan, so we're going to clean that up some. All right, so what I'm going to do is just compare these pans real quickly, and then we'll get on to cleaning that one up. This is the pan that I was using in the video last week, and it cooked fine. It's aluminum. It's very lightweight. I've seasoned it. You can see the difference in the click shot up in the corner that this is a shiny aluminum, you know, when it's polished, and so it's been seasoned quite a bit, and it cooks just fine, except it has hot spots. Wherever the flame hits it, that's where it's hot at. I mean, that sounds simplistic, but it doesn't spread the heat out evenly. So that's the only drawback, and that it's fairly tiny for the most part. Now here's the other option. This is also an 8-inch iron skillet. It's seasoned pretty well. Does a great job, but let's weigh it. 3 pounds, 2.8 ounces. 3 pounds. All right, 8.5 inches in the carbon steel, and it's 13.8 ounces. It's not even a pound. It's a bigger pan. It weighs 1/3 of the weight of this rascal. I love cast iron. People talk about cast iron is brittle. I don't know what you have to do to break cast iron other than get it super hot and then hit it with something. I've never broken a cast iron pan in my life. But all the rage is the carbon steel. And again, they can be really pricey in today's market, but this is an old one. There's no maker's marks on it that I can find. When I get through cleaning it up, maybe there might be something. It's got some age on it. Here's something to point out. It's not riveted, and you'll see almost everything nowadays have rivets in them to hold it. This one is welded, and that's a sign of good steel when they'll just weld it together. And it's held up all these years, so I'm going to continue to think it will. It also has a little divot right here in the bottom. You can see the bump on it. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to knock that out or make it perfectly flat, because I think that's a good place for oil or butter to accumulate right in the middle. And when you put your food in, it'll spread it out. And that will also prevent some of the sticking options that sometimes might happen. So here we go. Okay, I had to turn the air conditioning on. I'm going to be really close to the camera, so I hope you can hear me. But it's just so hot in here. It's another hot South Carolina day, and it's still early, and it's already hot in here. This is a 60 grit foam pad. Now, I'm opting to just sand it so I'll have a little more control over it. I don't want to do any harsh chemicals unless I just absolutely have to. And I prefer not to use power tools on something like this. But as hard as it's baked on, yeah, that's not moving a whole lot. I may have to get more aggressive. Matter of fact, it's wearing the pad off really quick. Okay, let's try something else. Here's some, I guess they call it emery paper. Let's see what that does. Now you can see the shine starting right here on the top immediately. But this hard part, where it's baked on, where I have my most concern, that's not moving. I may have to take a wire brush of some sort. You know, of course you can always cook it off. Yeah, we'll find a way. Okay, let's try something harder. The bottom shines up pretty good, pretty easy. That's not a big deal. I mean, it had some cuts in it, all the way to the, you know, like right here. It goes all the way through to the metal, just from abuse, I guess. And a little bit of rust in there, so I wanted to take that out. But this is the part here that I don't like. I don't know what's in that, so I'm going to take it off. And see, I got some of the powder off already. Nothing. How about this 60 grit sanding pad on my palm sander? Yeah, that made some difference, didn't it? Yeah, right there. Let's try it again. And that's why people buy power tools. That's taking it down real nice, and then I'll smooth it out with some hand sanding, and then we'll re-season that. The battery's about had it. There's a lot of build up there. That's why I want to take it off. I don't know what's in it. You know, I don't know where it came from. If I had a new pan, I'd love to season it, but you know, I'm going to wash it before I do, so see if it has any effect on it. Okay, I gotta go clean that up. We'll get back to you in just a bit. Okay, so I finished with the sanding and the polishing. We'll rinse this off good, and then we'll start the seasoning process. Still no maker's marks that I can find. I'm very satisfied with that. We'll get that seasoned back up. One of these days we'll use that on the camp out. Okay, so it's dried off out in the sun. It's only been a few minutes. And what's interesting about it is there's a certain amount of rust that occurred on here where the little bit of water was left on it, and just happened at a few minutes. I had to get my lard ready. Okay, I just got some lard here. This pan's pretty hot, so it's just gonna take right to it, I think. Now this has just been sitting out in the sun, that's why it's melting the way it is. I got my grill nice and hot. Seems like you could almost do this without the grill today. It's so hot out here. Maybe use a paper towel. Okay, and I'm just going to turn it upside down right there in the grill, and we're going to close her up. Alright, so just plain old Crisco is what I use in these little foil packs. These kind of keep almost forever, seems like. They're usually sealed, but we keep one in the refrigerator just for, you know, we don't use much lard, but we use it just for stuff like this. Don't really cook in lard anymore. We know better than that. Okay, so what do you think? We pulled it off the grill, got it cooled down nice. Looks pretty good to me. Let me bring it in so you can see it. That's 2 coats of lard. It was baked twice on the grill at whatever temperature that was, 450 or somewhere like that. I don't really recommend doing this in the house in the oven. It can be right stinky, so unless you've got a really good vent in there, you're going to smell up your house some. might make some people a little bit ill with you. But we put the black back in it, cooked that Crisco onto it. I don't have any of that buildup, around the edges that we sanded off. Kind of started over. I'm going to polish this a little bit. I think it was a $5 pan, and it's carbon steel. Like I said, these can be pricey if you look around on them. I'm real pleased with that. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Fully seasoned. I think it's ready to go. It weighs less than a pound. If I remember correctly, 13 point something ounces. I'm plumb tickled with that. Hey, I'll see you next time. This is Mike B from Mike's Wild World. Thanks for watching.